Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for just a moment. I thought I'd pop in here because I've got two very good and dear friends of mine that I talk to all the time offline about different things when I have questions. As you know, it has been my tradition this year, especially with the small business owners that are friends of mine that I'm working with. And I learned so much from them that I try to get on here every now and again and ask them to share information with you because their information I have found is so very valuable because they're so knowledgeable. So I appreciate two of my good friends just coming on here impromptu. I've been trying to pry them and get them on here with me, and they have decided to do that. And I am so glad they decided to join me tonight. We're just going to give everyone a little bit of time to chime in here since we're on Facebook Live on a Sunday night. And this replay or this video will be available for replay as well. So if you want to take a moment and share this out, you'll get to hear my two good friends talk about how to travel safely during the holidays and especially during a pandemic. So I think we're live on my page right now. I just shared it out and made it public. So if you want to get on there and share it out real quick, that would be great. So thank you, Eric Taylor and Ruby Rippey, for being with me tonight. I know I call them and I ask them questions about different things, especially when it comes to travel, because I'm here in Chicago. My family is home in Tennessee and I miss them terribly. In the event that I have to get home and travel, or if we just want to take a quick break as a family, I want to know how to do it safely in a pandemic. There's so many questions, and people are quarantining, and we're social distancing. So travel is just a little bit different. And especially since it's the holidays, I know some people are going to start traveling. So I thought I'd bring on two experts here and get their advice and just let them spend just a few minutes. We're not going to take a long time, but just let them spend a few minutes telling us how to travel safely during the holidays and especially during a pandemic. So I have Eric Taylor, who is the president and founder of Executive Transportation, located in Nashville, Tennessee. And I have Ruby Rippey, who is a flight attendant or former flight attendant with 20 years experience in the industry. And I said, you know what? This is a good thing. Let's get them on together and let's just let them introduce themselves and just share a little bit about themselves. And then I'm going to ask them about some travel tips. How about that? How about we do that? So, Eric, do you mind just saying hello and telling us a little bit about your company?
Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Taylor, president and founder of Executive Transportation, located in Nashville, Tennessee. Been in business for 5 years, but I have over 15 years experience in the limousine chauffeur transportation industry. And we offer private car services, airplane flights, transportation, FBO flights, and hotel shuttles as well. So we just in the industry having out transportation solutions to everyone that needs
Awesome. Thank you for being with me tonight. It's an honor to have you.
them.
All right, Ruby Rippey, introduce us and tell us a little bit about your flight attendant experience.
Hi, I've been a flight attendant for over 20 years with a major airline. I am now in the process of retiring because of the pandemic, but I have had experience in international flights as well as flights in the United States. And there are some things that can make life easy for you as well as for your fellow passengers when you do travel.
Awesome. Thank you too for being with me tonight. And on that note, let's just start with talking about flights. I just kind of have some questions about if I needed to take a flight anywhere to just see friends or just get away, visit family or get away with my family for a little bit. What are some things that you have heard or you know about that's a little bit different if we're traveling during a pandemic than would be, on any other occasion? What are some of the trends right now? What are some things that you would recommend, tips, or what will we need to be aware of if we're flying right now?
Well, if you're flying right now, always check the websites for each airline that you're traveling for to see if they have special protocol in place. Also, make sure you have the things that are necessary for flying because of the pandemic. That would include mask, your sanitizer, and if you're traveling and longer flights, shorter flights, you might want to prepare your own sandwich, chips, snacks like that to take with you because not all the restaurants are back up during the pandemic. So you probably want to carry your own food. If you have small children that you must travel with, make sure you have entertainment tools for them and just follow the protocol that the airline has or the airport even has, that you do wear your mask and practice social distancing.
Great, thank you. Now, do you know if they're serving food on the flights anymore, or snacks or anything on the?
No, that's why I was saying bring your own food
Okay.
if you are looking for something to eat, because the airlines aren't serving like they used to. Things have changed in flying. It's not the same as it was 9 months ago.
Right, absolutely. Okay. And I would think too that at the terminals, you would need to, is it reasonable to expect that you have to have your mask on the whole time, even when you're in the terminal and you're waiting to board the flight and on the flight? I know on the flight, I think they say you have to wear
Yes,
the mask the whole
a
time.
lot of the airlines are saying, or airports are saying, that they are practicing by wearing masks.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just thinking, just a general rule of thumb, if I'm going to be around or in close proximity of anyone, right, I'm going to have to wear my mask, right? So if there are people around, and I do it here just locally, if I see people, we have to wear the mask when we go outside of our homes. But if I'm just happening to just have it down just to breathe for a minute, if I see someone approaching me, I'm going to put it on. So I just assume if there are other people around me, I'm just going to have my mask on, right? So
Yes,
that's the same thing in the terminal, right?
yes. If you're not eating or drinking, please wear your mask.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. Okay. So I love those tips, have something. And I think instead of maybe bring some snacks on, but I think I would have my meal before the flight if I could, if I had the time to do it. So, with the expectation of them not serving food, you have your snacks or you can bring your food on the flight. But just to fill up before you go, I guess, for the most part, right? And have your entertainment for your kids. Your kids have to be masked up. Is that correct? I think they do too.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So with the expectation of traveling with kids, they're going to have to be masked up too. So get there earlier, maybe than when you used to on the normal day. Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Good tips. Good tips. All right, Mr. Taylor, Eric Taylor. Okay, so we talk about the flight, right?
Mhm.
So we've reached our destination. And now we're going to talk about ground transportation. So, what are the protocols now with ground transportation? And maybe what are some tips that you would recommend concerning getting from the flight to your destination in the city?
Well, coming through the airport, like as she mentioned, wearing the mask most definitely important. Um, the chauffeurs will have on a mask once the point of contact, and you need to have a mask on in the vehicle, no matter what type it is, for your safety as well as the chauffeur. What I'm experiencing rather, is that most families are traveling together rather than different groups. But I think it's better to travel by car right now. That way, you've been around the same person instead of a group of people. Now, when I pick up people that's coming in for an event or a wedding or just something special, or just want to get out of town or whatever, if it's a large group of them, they're going to Airbnbs or whatnot, but they're coming in and everybody's getting their own different vehicle once they get picked up at the airport, whether it's by car service, Uber, taxi, or whatever. But they're not traveling as far as no more than 45 at a time, from what I'm experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I've even had some that come in, gonna be here for a while. They have to go to their hotel and quarantine for at least 24 hours before they go out if they're here on business.
Okay.
And when they get back to work city they're in, they have to go back home and quarantine for 14 days before they go back to their jobs.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so, and they might be even taking some to get COVID tests when they arrive because, the seriousness of the pandemic right now.
Okay. Okay. So there's a possibility, if I understand correctly, if you're traveling in from another city, you have to quarantine at the hotel for 24 hours before you get out?
If it's a part of your company's protocol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. From what some of the conversations or they mentioned that they have to take a COVID test when they get here and they have to get the results. And then once they get past the results, they go do their thing. And then when they get back to where they're going, they got to quarantine when they get back home.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So I like the fact that there are alternatives even to flying. If I wasn't comfortable with flying with my family or whatever, or myself, there are alternatives. And you and I talked about this too, how you're different than using a private car service is different than maybe an Uber or, other types of ground transportation. Can you talk? I don't think a lot of people understand that there are other options in a private car service and how that's different than just a taxi or an Uber or whatever else. Can you talk to us about your service in particular and how that's different?
Yeah. What we offer is we have an app that we use that we're part of, and once you make your reservation and you get your email over, you'll get once the driver's been assigned to you, you'll get a picture of the driver with his contact information, and then once the driver's on the way, you get another post saying he's on the way when he's arrived and everything. And then when you're dropped, I'm pretty sure that most of all the companies are doing that. It's more of a safe thing for safety. So you just walking up in the car or getting in any vehicle, whether it's a sedan, SUV, Sprinter, stretch limousine. And then if you're at the airport or your hotel,
Oh, I think he froze up for a second.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if he comes back. Maybe having network problems.
Maybe.
Okay. I've got his website up, executive transportation.limo, executive transportation. Okay, his network, I think, connection dropped, but it's executive transportation.limo here. Please go to his site if you're in the Nashville area. I think he does runs to different cities too. So if you're maybe a little leery of flying, then check him out. Check his services out. And then if he can't get you there, he has a whole network of people that he can call and contact. One of the things I like about his service is on his website, you'll see too that he goes through his staff. They go through cleaning the vehicles and things like that. So they make sure between each ride, everything is sanitized. And my whole thing right now is to get people familiar with those companies and services that are really going to look out for your health. We still want to travel. We want to, do the things that we've been accustomed to doing, right? So when we do that, we want to make sure that there are people that are taking care of our interests. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. Eric, I was just sharing that we may be having network difficulties, and that happens, and that's okay. And we're glad you made it back. But I was just going through your website a little bit and telling people about your site and how you are very meticulous in cleaning your vehicle between passengers and things like that. So if you want to speak to that just a little bit, you may, as I scroll through your website.
Sorry about the disconnection. I don't know what happened, but
life.
Most of the sanitation parts to do with the touch points of the car. I try to make sure that the customer don't have to open or shut the door, but some do get in before shut the door before you get the chance to shut it. The touch point, like the door handles, the seat belts, just anything that you might touch, the armrest like that, make sure it's sanitized, and the seat. And then once you get out and after your service is over with, we do it again. So that's to protect you from previous clients being in the vehicle.
Very good. Awesome. I love that. So I encourage people to check out his site. executive-transportation.limo and get more information, and just call him up, ask him questions, about how to travel safely or whatever questions you may have. His number's on the site as well. Ruby, I want you to chime in because I know even your experience when going from city to city, yeah, as a flight attendant, and you're getting out and you're staying at different hotels. I know one of the things we kind of mentioned offline was the importance of, especially women traveling, the importance of the app and actually knowing who your driver is and who's picking you up. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and why that's so important?
Yes, when I first met Eric, that was one of the things that I liked about his service was that he had an app that was available that would tell me who the driver was, what type of vehicle he was in, how far away, the things that I needed to know so that I wasn't looking for my vehicle for pickup. And I thought that was very important safety issue, especially for women or somebody traveling with small children. That was awesome thing for his company to have available.
Awesome. And Eric, can you kind of tell us a little bit about that app or that feature with your service?
Yeah, I don't know where we got cut off at, but yeah, it's just like you said, you get a picture of the driver and the contact info. That way you can walk up to a vehicle and not know who's picking you up. Well, like I said, whether it be a sedan, SUV, Sprint, or stretch bus or whatever. And besides that, you also have your name on a signage of an iPad. So you know who you're with, and the company logo, or so you know who you're with. And it really works well with clients that call and have a child that's under the age of 18, especially female, and the dad likes to be concerned about the child's safety. So that really helps on that end also. They want you to meet the child right there at baggage claim.
Absolutely.
That way that because anybody could you could have a mistake about picking somebody up.
Absolutely. I can see why that would be very important. So I like the fact that, and I've seen it when I travel and you're at baggage claim, some of the drivers are right there and they got the signs up, they're waiting for you. You know who they are, they know who you are. And I think that's so important. Especially that's another aspect of not only just health and safety, but, safety when you're traveling, making sure you're connected with the right person. You're not waiting and looking and searching and, oh Lord, we have to knock on the windows and no, let's not do that. So I think
one thing I will say, even if you come out to ground transportation instead of getting met at baggage claim, you will still get the signage, and the driver will be outside of the car. So either way, you're gonna get the signage. If we're not outside the car, that signage is gonna be in the window where you can see it. But 99% of the time, it's gonna be the driver's gonna be outside the car holding the signage.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I think that's good stuff. Yeah. All right.
Okay. While you travel, we don't want you to be stressed while you're traveling. Traveling
That's a good point.
So especially in a pandemic right now. So
that's a good point. I love the fact that companies like yours, and I said also, if you couldn't get people where they need to go, a lot of other people that you can call in different cities to make sure that they're safe and they have the same type of standards that you have as well. So we appreciate you and your network. I hope people will reach out to you, and because I do know your quality of excellence and your service, and that you do take what you do very seriously, even before the pandemic, not just now that we're in a pandemic, but he is very meticulous about being on time, about how classy, he's got luxury. You'll see when you go to his site, you'll see that he's, top class, even if it's for the, what did you call it? The FBO, that's the private.
Private airport, yes.
That means the people that come in on these private jets, he's right there waiting for you. So I love the fact that he serves all.
So there's a lot of great companies out there. We try to connect with each other to make it better. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. So we just wanted to get out there and give you a few little tips. We know people are getting ready to well, it's a holiday season already. We're not getting ready. We're in it, right? And they're starting to travel. So just wanted to put some tips out there. I know both of you have shared them with me, and I said, let's get out here and share them with our friends and family so we can be safe during the holidays. Anything else you'd like to share right now? Any parting words, final tips?
Everybody just have a great holiday, be safe, and mask up.
Exactly.
Mask up.
Mask.
Mask up. Yeah, let's keep one another safe. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Ruby, for being with me tonight. This was awesome. I hope our friends and family have gotten some tips and they'll give you a thumbs up and they'll give you maybe visit your website or give you a call and let's see what else we can do to help them travel safely during the holidays. This has been great. So thank you both for your time. Go enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, thank you for having me.
Bye.
No problem. See you later.
Bye.